Now, the outrage didn't just happen here in the U.S. or on Fox News or by political leaders looking for a way to prove how Christian they are while they, roll their windows up for homeless people and hate on gays every chance they get. It was actually a large span of outrage.
I got nothing.
And in fact, according to the Newsweek article by Mandy Taheri, the French Catholic Church's Conference of Bishops condemned the performance for its mockery and derision, which I think are the same thing, of Christianity.
Oh, yeah!
Good morning! And welcome to another episode of Hard Factor. It is Monday, July 29th, 2024, episode 1512. Coming at you live if you're on YouTube. You can always watch us live on YouTube if you do so incline.
If you please.
Please.
If you please. Is this Jesus?
Yeah, so we'll be talking about Jesus later, so I'm getting my Southern Christianity outrage voice going.
Don't cheese you Jesus in Lord's name in vain in front of me, boy.
Did you see
I
what
will
happened in Paris? Oh my God.
Oh my God. I tell you what, we've been coming at those gays for decades and 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 decades, but so help me, Lord, did they come at us once.
Somehow they keep breeding.
All right. In decades and
I've made it my life's work.
and so did my grandfather and his grandfather and his grandfather and his grandfather and his grandfather.
Yeah, I'm gonna be talking about the blasphemous quote unquote opening ceremony of the Olympics that offended all 2.4 billion Christians, apparently.
All of us are pissed off.
We're all holding hands and pissed off.
Boycott, I say.
Oh,
I knew the French would fuck it up.
yeah, I understand that there are different cultures, but it doesn't. Why isn't it my culture? Because you get to have it every 16 years. When it comes to your country, you can have it in 2028.
We got it in 2028, right?
No, that's when you can have it. Hey, Wes, what'd you do this week?
You don't think there's going to be any queers in the LA opening ceremonies?
No, I heard they're going to run them out like rats.
Yeah.
What
I was telling the guys, I've been on a little quest.
A little kick.
Two things. One, the first is to alleviate my sore back after a long weekend of work, and two, I'm on a quest to get at least offered a hand job at a massage parlor. And today I came the closest I've ever had. I was basically offered one, if you ask me.
we are asking you. So
by what she did. Well,
she wanted to give you a hand job so bad.
She did. So when she came. So I dropped. Here's the fucked up thing. I dropped
for decades.
She wanted me to get hard so bad.
She's thinking about it for hours,
disappointed
minutes.
So I dropped my. We went and saw Deadpool, and then he's like, he asked for a haircut because his hair is just a mess. He never asked for it. So I was like, all right, let's go get a haircut. I knew that the one massage place that I've been to is right next to this hair place. So I'm like, perfect. My back hurts. I'm gonna go get a massage. I'm gonna drop. To walk across to the Aurora Massage that we've looked up online, that is a haven for hand jobs. Apparently, Mark looked it up.
I did. Now, time out. I have a question before you get much further.
Yeah. Did
the Asian massage parlor see you with your Asian son before you dropped him off?
Nope.
Because that could have been like, oh, he likes Asians.
No, give him a regular.
No, no, they didn't. They might have seen my screen. Maybe they saw my screensaver of him. I don't know. When I maybe because I did show her. I did do the thing where I was like, now
she's like,
on
we don't have any of that here. We don't have any of that here.
You're in the wrong place, sir. You're wrong country, sir.
None of that here. Just ladies, okay?
You're sick.
You're
out.
sick, sir. I know what you're here for.
I did the thing where I was like, okay, on Groupon, it says that I can get this for $60. I see it's advertised for $70 on your little chalkboard there. But and she's like, okay, fine. So she
I like to haggle for my hand jobs.
Yeah, so she takes
dialing for dollars and haggling for hand jobs.
so she shows me to my room, and I lay on my, I didn't take my boxers off, which is apparently what you're supposed to do if you really want a hand job. So I just lay there on my stomach. And she comes in, and I go medium, please. I don't like a hard massage. I'm a pussy. It hurts. I don't like it. So I go medium, please. And she goes, oh, thank you. I love medium. I love giving medium massage. It's this is like because you don't have to work as hard, right?
Then that's me so horny.
Yeah.
Medium.
So anyway, she does the back thing.
I see on screensaver you come for Asia.
Yeah.
None of that here. No boys here.
So she gives me the worst back massage I've ever had in my life, just over and over the same motion. Then she flips me over. Oh, and the whole back massage, she touched my butt more than any other. Like I've never had my butt touched so much in my life by one person. That was
your hairy ass.
My hair, yeah. She's just rubbing my butt a lot. And so I'm like, okay, and it was kind of like nice. I was honestly getting a little turned on. She kept, eventually you touched my butt so many times, I'm going to get a little turned on.
That's right.
So she flips me over. Oh, first off, she yanked my boxers up when she did my legs so hard that she gave me a wedgie in my ass. And I just took it. But then she flipped me over and
she gave me an atomic wedgie.
Yeah, she gave me an atomic
She whispered in my ear
on one side. Yeah, on one side she gave me an atomic wedgie. But then she flipped me over and she did no massage work on my front, except she just started lightly rubbing me, like the kind of like light rubs that you might like give a man if you want him to like get excited. And then she pinched my nipple and twisted it a little bit, and I laughed, and she goes, "Oh, is that you ticklish?" And then she twisted my nipples like 2 or 3 more times, thinking that was like my erogenous zone, that was gonna do the trick, and I was just like fighting it in my head. I was like, no.
Sorry, we don't have boy.
I got scared. I was like,
if I don't have boy like on your phone.
If I pop a boner, she's going for it immediately. So I was like,
fuck don't you just get an actual massage? You wasted $60.
I knew that this was going to be a crappy massage, but it was convenient because it was the only time in the day I had to get a massage when I knew that Cam was waiting over there getting his hair cut. I had a good, 30-minute buffer, 40-minute buffer. There was a line at the hair cutter. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to do it there. But absolutely, I've never had anyone pinch and twist my nipples during a massage. And she was like, she definitely rubbed over my boxers a few times. It was 1,000%. If I would have popped a boner, she would have grabbed it immediately. And
would you say it's right here or right here?
Yeah. So, but I
no young boys here.
I learned that I really don't even want to get the opportunity today. Because
just short-haired women. You like short hair?
We're bringing our boyishest girl.
I'm getting a hand done. My son's over there getting a haircut.
Dude, that would have been amazing.
Yeah, we're both getting trimmed up.
It was crazy. So.
Speaking of sons, guys, Ismael El Mayo Zambada, who's like the co-founder of the Sinaloa cartel, he got tricked by El Chapo's son into custody. El Chapo's son was like, yo, let's go look at some real estate in northern Mexico, and then just the plane flew to El Paso. And now El Mayo.
This is the guy who co-founded the Sinaloa cartel with El Chapo Sr., who was in jail. Right. And his son was busted a little while ago. That's when they were shooting all the planes, right? Like, it's like,
right.
And now his son, El Chapo's son, entrapped.
Well, El Chapo's got a couple sons. I don't know if it was the same one.
Different one. Okay.
But yeah, 76 years old now. He's in jail.
And so, what happened to the son? Is he out, or did they arrest him fake arrest him too to make it look like he was busted? Also,
that's what I'm wondering. Was he like fully in on it?
Okay, U.S. law enforcement, this is from CNN officials, had previously told CNN that Joaquin Guzman Lopez had duped Zambada and orchestrated their arrest by making him believe they were flying to northern Mexico to look at real estate. Instead, officials said their small private plane landed in the north of the border in El Paso, Texas, where U.S. authorities were waiting on the tarmac. Zambada's been one of the most elusive figures. It does, I'm not exactly sure what happened to the kid, man.
I mean, what's going to happen to
I think they arrested him.
Be good.
I'm pretty sure they arrested both of them, though. That's what I'm confused about this.
Yeah, the arrests of Zambada and Guzman Lopez mark a major development for decades long.
Yeah, if you're going to call El Chapo
prosecute.
Jr. a snitch, you're going to put Wes and I in Austin, Texas in jeopardy. Because that's a bold claim.
No, I know there's a cartel. You know, Q.
Yeah,
we know that there's cartel movement like Q, who tried to kill Mark with his cocaine that one time.
Yeah.
That was but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about
that fucking kills you.
You fucking die, motherfucker.
It's my buddy Q.
Is that like slang for you hope it's good, Q? Or
Dude, oh my god, I brought Q one time to like my most Republican friend's house to drop some cocaine on, whose wife is like Texas royalty. And they were like, he was like, Pat, you got to get this Q guy the fuck out of here now. I said, do you look? I don't have a million guys that'll drop cocaine off. Okay, man.
You wanted cocaine.
You asked for it. This is the guy that would come.
Yeah, I was listening to the radio about this, and there was like some expert about like some FBI guy, and he was saying that first of all, yeah, it's great they got him, but it's not really going to do. They just come. A new leader will be crowned immediately. He said that actually more drugs might come over now because of like some kind of unrest or some like the trying to prove themselves. I don't know. His logic was weird, but he basically said this isn't going to do a fucking thing as far as drugs coming over the United States.
Well, it's like a power vacuum always in these types of situations. If you chop the head off one, and then like other smaller cartels might try to get in, there might be more suppliers, there might be more buyers. Who knows? Yeah. I mean, but yeah, the cartels ain't going to stop. But
I think what it does, though, what's interesting is the dough, right? So like, what happens to all the money? Because if you don't have kids, I don't know if he's got kids or not, or like where the money goes. But
I mean, his mansions with like walls of cash.
Yeah.
Like my point is like the right hand
seized a lot of that shit.
Doesn't get his dough down in Mexico. A lot of it's buried.
Yeah. I mean,
Pablo Escobar
used
to chalk up 10% of the cartel's earnings every year to rot because they would bury the money.
Yeah. I read, I don't know if it was true or not, but I read that one day he burned a bunch of cash to keep his son warm because it was like freezing.
Pablo?
Yeah.
There was also a great episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air about that.
I remember that episode.
And they were ripping off the Pablo story.
Yeah.
All right. Who wants to go next?
Well, I didn't really go. That was more of a top of the show topic.
Well, then go. Keep going.
Oh, okay.
Then go.
Okay. All right. I mean, if you're liking what I'm doing, I'll keep giving it to you.
Keep going.
I'll twist your nipples. Is that your erogenous zone?
Mm-hmm.
All right, look.
And then she blew me. And it was the biggest tip off. She blew me.
Yeah,
she blew me.
She didn't just start blowing me. That would have really.
Well, look, but I didn't smile once. Okay, and it's important to know that. Yeah. But it would have been rude culturally, and I understand that.
You tell me if she wanted to give me a hand job after she blew me.
Yeah. She didn't use her hands, honey. Okay, no. Let's talk about we talked about this a little bit, how like Twitter has created this vacuum of like terribleness where effectively Elon Musk is just, zero policing and then incentivizing views, right? The more interaction or views you get
something tells me transphobic comments won't get fact checked.
No, but like they do have the community policing. But my point is like, you could say whatever the fuck you want on there. And then people kept leaving the platform. So he was like, I better incentivize people to stay on the platform. So I'm going to give you rev share for views. And like, look, you could say something like something really boring and vanilla when it comes to a headline, or you could like be like Charlie Kirk and be like, I got it on good source that the president has some mystery illness and is about to die. And which is more interesting? Charlie Kirk one, which gets more money, the Charlie Kirk one.
Yeah.
Kids know this, and it's not just on X, right? X is like just a fucking toilet, if you ask me, but it's true on any platform, right? If you put something up that gets views, you get paid. I think the video that we got paid the most on was the video of that guy in that car, that Florida man, trying to draw his weapon against someone, then he loses control of his weapon while it's firing. It was a public domain video, so great. We monetized it. Awesome. There's teenagers are realizing this shit, though, right? If you get a hot video, a disaster video, you can really make some dough. And a 17-year-old got really lucky. He posted a video titled Most Insane Video I've Ever Taken. And it was of a train derailing. You guys want to see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my freaking freaking god! Oh my god, are they okay?
Now, Pat, I read what was on that video,
Mm-hmm.
and it was pretty alarming.
What was that?
It said 17-year-old deliberately causes train derailment for views.
You're damn right, Mark, because that's how you get sick views. You know a little bit about trains. And you got a camera. Oh my god! Oh my freaking god! Are they okay? Are they okay? Oh my god! He switched to Switch because he knows a shit ton about trains, and he derailed a fucking train. And he switched to Switch. He shouldn't have switched. Yeah, it wasn't good. A train conductor told investigators his train to approach a crossing, and he noticed that the switch was misaligned. He tried to make an emergency stop, but he couldn't do so before reaching the spot where the missing switch should have been. So the investigator who was looking into it later found that the padlock that was supposed to be attached to the switch was missing, indicating it had been tampered with.
That's all that's preventing these switches.
Yeah, just a padlock.
Just one padlock from destruction.
Yeah, I guess the boy after this happened was like milling around, right? It was like someone who commits a crime and comes back. Just what happened? Well, he was there filming it. So he was like, what happened? Yeah. Apparently this kid knows his shit about trains. He's like, he like never grew out of that train phase. We were all in as boys. He just stayed in it and knows his shit. And yeah, I guess the investigator wrote that the kid knew where the switch was and knew how it worked. And authorities went through surveillance video from the area and discovered a vehicle and a lone driver traveling to the area just before the derailment. And it was a beige 1996 Buick Park Avenue, which is the type of shitty car only teenagers would drive in the area. And that's the same car as the kid.
In hindsight, since he got caught anyways, he would have gotten so many more views if he showed him flipping the switch.
Well, I mean, I agree, but then like now the video's just out there.
Now I'm going to flip the switch, and now I'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All the news organizations, including us, get to benefit from his switching.
Yeah, we're definitely posting this. Was everyone okay?
Yeah, no one got hurt, but they did cause a ton of damage, $350,000 in damage.
Yeah, I was going to say that's an expensive stunt when the train gets derailed.
So, not good. Not good, but hilarious for us, I guess. What I mean, like this is going to keep happening. This isn't the first. It's not.
Well, it's like that guy that didn't he purposely crash his airplane for the same reason?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and but like one group of people you don't want to fuck with is aviation internet. Yeah. The aviation internet will fuck you up. And on that note, you also don't want to fuck with plumbers on the internet. I don't know if you guys have ever followed any plumbers. I've been really into following plumbers.
Intimately, and worked with one.
Yeah, following plumbers is great. There's like one Albanian dude who's in New York who does plumbing jobs. He's got such a chill. He calls everyone broski. Hey, broski, I'm doing this job. It's really relaxing. It got me into this whole algorithm of following like trades.
On this toilet, broski.
Exactly. You know that
you watch them put together like some like playpen or some shit.
Exactly. Oh no, that was a different guy. But dude, tradesmen, social media are the most hater ass haters. Anything and a plumber or an electrician doesn't post to the internet, it's just comments of just hating.
What
just
they did wrong.
Like, you fucked it up, bro. You fucking idiot. This is how you do it, bro. You fucking dumbass.
Yeah, but it's usually by people in the field. Like, and anytime you have like,
it's all people in the field.
Yeah, anytime you have an internet guy come over and you're like, what happened with the wires? He's like, I don't know what idiot installed this last.
What? Oh yeah, the cable guys.
Yeah, cable guys is always.
Oh Jesus, dude! I had a plumber over 6 weeks ago. First thing he did was like, whoever did this plumbing before me sucked.
Yes,
you're lucky your house isn't burned down right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Do you want to hear about the Olympics and blasphemy?
Yes.
Okay, I'm really sad.
I don't know. I don't want to relive it.
Oh, I'm sad Will isn't here for this. He's our resident Christian. I really wanted to get his take on this whole thing. You know, I mean, he is. Anyway,
he's the closest we have to being holy.
Yeah, exactly. Going to take an excerpt from the New York Post article by Glenn Harlan Reynolds, who I'm assuming is conservative and Christian by what he wrote, of the Paris Olympic opening ceremony depiction of the Last Supper, which has apparently offended, as I said earlier, all 2.4 billion Christians in the world. Even those that didn't see the Olympics should watch it and then be very offended, according to the news coverage this debacle is getting. So Glenn writes, if you simply understand woke as a synonym for stupid and crazy, you won't go far wrong. The latest illustration can be found in the absurd and offensive opening ceremony for the Paris Olympics, which involved a parody of the Last Supper with transsexuals, drag queens, exposed testicles, and a fat blue-painted semi-clad man apparently intended to represent Dionysus, the Greek god of wine. Now I'm going to play you guys the clip of the Last Supper. It's been scrubbed a lot from the Olympics because the organizers are actively scrubbing it because of so many people are outraged. But here it is.
It's just like the real Last Supper.
Yeah, drag
painting.
A lot of gays.
More like spit up my supper.
A lot of dancing. A lot of hoobie dancing going on.
Where are these testicles at?
I couldn't find the testicles.
The testicles happened kind of all night. So if you didn't watch the opening ceremony, it was kind of cool because they did it on boats on that main French river, right? So like each team was on a boat. Like Team USA was on two boats. Like smaller teams that are like 4 to 6 athletes, and might put 4 teams on one boat. And that was the parade versus like normally like walking around a track you've seen before. And then they would kept cutting back to a fashion show, a runway show with, I mean, just some of the gayest folks out there. I mean, but that's Paris. You know what I mean? It's where they do Fashion Week. It's the mecca of fashion.
Well, they said they wanted to be all inclusive was their main statement regarding the games. And sure, you should be all inclusive. It's the Olympics. It's for everyone.
But dudes were hanging test, like blue dudes, like blue man group rejects were like hanging test just because like why not? That's exactly because they were trolling. I mean, it's hard. If you're the producer of the Olympics, first of all, what's culturally appropriate in France is different than what's culturally appropriate around the world. I mean, imagine the heads that are getting cut off in Qatar as it relates to this getting broadcast, right?
A lot of people were upset. Funny story. When I was around 23, I thought it'd be funny to set up an offensive nativity scene in the apartment I shared with a buddy of mine during Christmas. And in the scene, I locked Mary in the manger away from all the men because she was such a little harlot and couldn't be trusted around the shepherds, which is of course my last name. So I thought it was fitting and funny. And then one night my buddy brought over a couple of his Pennsylvania red-haired Irish Catholic friends, and they were not happy with the nativity scene after I explained it to them while laughing and drunk. And there were some threats. And
it's because she's a whore.
See, I locked Mary in the manger because she's a whore.
Because she just can't get enough of it. And she
was pinching my nipples.
Right, I should protect her from herself because those shepherds are ravenous. Their Mary is thirsty.
Poor Joseph.
Yeah. I was young. I was drunk. I had a plethora of excuses. They left. My buddy escorted them out because apparently they were going to beat the shit out of me. But
that's the best. We should kick his ass. we gotta fuck this dude up.
See what he did to Mary. But the organizers of the Olympic Games have no excuses for the blasphemy they committed. And now the outrage didn't just happen here in the U.S. or on Fox News or by political leaders looking for a way to prove how Christian they are while they, roll their windows up for homeless people and hate on gays every chance they get. It was actually a large span of outrage.
I got nothing.
In many countries, even in France. And in fact, according to the Newsweek article by Mandy Taheri, the French Catholic Church's Conference of Bishops condemned the performance for its mockery and derision, which I think are the same thing, of Christianity, posting an official English statement saying, "We are thinking of all the Christians on every continent who have been hurt by this outrageousness and provocation of certain scenes." Also, Mike Johnson, the speaker, put on Twitter last night. What do you say?
Mockery, the Last
mockery,
Supper.
yeah, of the Last Supper was shocking and insulting to Christian people around the world who watched the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games. The war on our faith and traditional values knows no bounds today, but we know that truth and virtue will always prevail. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. John 1:5. So,
And that right there is how you know that it's total bullshit, because any opportunity to say that Christians are being persecuted helps bolster his position as a politician.
Exactly. And Lauren Boebert, of course, said it was disgusting. Yeah.
Look, if you think that Last Supper was disgusting, you should see what they did to Jesus right after the Last Supper.
Yeah. Not good.
That was bad.
Ooh-wee. You know who did it?
The gays. Wait.
It was a Pontius Pilate.
It was the Romans.
Yeah.
Anyway, they convinced.
Wait, what do you mean? Jesus was a Jew.
The Jews convinced the Romans.
Jesus was a Christian. What?
Whatever they say. Also, the newly crowned king of the right, Elon Musk, said it was extremely disrespectful. But in that same Newsweek article I referenced,
he said the French choreographers are dead to me.
Yeah.
It was extremely disrespectful. Fuck that dude, bro.
Yeah. Well, but here's the thing, Pat, is that in the same Newsweek article I referenced, there are some pastors that came out, and many other people on social media, like Cassie Nolan Rapko, who said it wasn't the Last Supper, which is housed in Italy, not France.
Right.
It was the Feast of Dionysus, Greek god of festivity and feasting and ritual and theater. The Olympics are from Greek culture and tradition. French culture is deeply rooted in feasting and festivity and performing arts. Duh. So
wasn't the Feast of Dionysus in Greece?
I have no idea.
Not France.
No fucking
I do think that it obviously had some similarities to Last Supper, but wouldn't there have been like a Jesus if there was a Last Supper?
Well, okay, so this guy Clint, who is the host of Liberty Lockdown,
with the gun, he's got the gun like the joke gun we put in the Florida Man Friday logo. Yeah. He's got it for real.
Yeah, he does. It's a cool logo.
You think,
anyway,
he was upset, huh?
He said, last post for the people claiming that the opening video is not depicting the Last Supper. They even added the mock halo just to make sure you knew what you were looking at. Stop playing dumb. So
yeah, because so they're definitely coming for me, which gives me all the more reason to get locked and loaded.
That's right. Locked and loaded.
Look, we've been coming at those queries for decades and decades and decades and decades. And decades and decades.
Yeah.
And God forbid they come at us one time with their freedom of expression. We need to shut them up. Isn't that the First Amendment? Well, the Constitution doesn't come into play here.
Yeah. But the outrage, even the organizers seem to concede that it was a parody depiction of a religious scene, with the spokesperson for Paris 2024, Anne Decamps, saying clearly there was never an intention to show disrespect to any religious group. The opening ceremony tried to celebrate community tolerance. We believe this ambition was achieved. If people have taken any offense, we are really sorry. And then they actively tried to get the video scrubbed from YouTube and everywhere else.
I mean, I see what they're saying, but get over it. But
really sorry.
Get over it. But what was really offensive was that horse at the end, bringing the flame in, because that thing lasted forever.
The pale horse?
Yeah. It reminded me of the scene in like Austin Powers when the guy's about to get run over at 1 mile an hour by the steamroller. And he's like, no! It took like, they went like 20 miles in this goddamn horse. And it was just a horse on water, like an animated horse running for about 16 minutes.
Apparently that was also in the Bible. It was like the pale horse or something.
It looks like death. Yeah, the pale horse.
Hold on. Producer Eric saying it wasn't the Last Supper. It was a depiction of ancient Greek Bacchanal. Bacchanal?
That's the
Bacchanal? Okay, because
that's Dionysus.
And with the word anal's in, I think I know what they're trying to say. And to that I say, quit being stupid, Eric.
Bacchus is the other word for Dionysus.
Yeah, it's like the South getting mad over a video from Mardi Gras. Didn't you see the Liberty lockdown post, Eric? Stop playing dumb.
Didn't you see the halo? There's the halo, and this fat guy was wearing the halo, so he's definitely the Last Supper.
Stop playing dumb. This is why I pray loud at Cracker Barrel, so they know that I'm Christian because they're coming for us.
Was it the same amount of people in the Last Supper? Were there any women at the Last Supper? Because they weren't big on women back then, I don't think.
But they were men in dresses.
Yeah, there was
which is what they were doing. There was no women.
Some women in dresses, but there was also, I think, just some straight up women. Bring up the picture again.
I'm going to bring up the picture of the Last Supper scene here.
Can we even do that anymore, or is that like showing Muhammad?
There's women. It looks like there's a few whores there.
That's what I'm saying, which they would not have been allowed at the Last Supper.
Long-haired dudes.
But at Dionysus's party, he liked to fuck chicks, so he had them over.
And dudes,
and half sprites and animals like Pan.
Yeah, dude. Dionysus. Where's the women?
3, 4. They don't have
one
women.
One right over there. She's hanging on the dude on the left, to the left of Jesus.
No, that's just a soft dude.
I don't think they had women at the Last Supper.
That guy wants some of that bearded dude. Then
I'm gonna watch the Da Vinci Code tonight.
Anyway, I thought it was the biggest, like, besides
Bacchus would take one look at your screensaver and say, "We got that, son. Just wait until later."
Yeah. Well, besides the trains being derailed and all that, it was the biggest news of the weekend. And then today, to lighten things up, more Olympic controversy. This guy, Bob Ballard, he's a Olympic broadcaster for Eurosport. He was instantly removed as a commentator for the swimming coverage for the Eurosport after Australia's women's team won the gold in the 400 by 100 meter freestyle. Ballard I guess he didn't know he was on air, but they were taking a while to get out of the pool, and he said, "Well, the women are just finishing up. You know what women are like, hanging around doing their makeup." And
what were they shopping?
So people were very upset at Bob, and then the clip went
too. That's not that offensive.
Yeah, it went viral. I'm gonna see if Eric was able to find it. I don't think so. It's hard to find the clip of him doing it, but then they immediately pulled him, and he wasn't on the next scene of the coverage on Sunday. So he's
Bob
fired.
looks like, speaking of testicles, Bob looks like a testicle with eyes, with like a face.
Right one.
He does. I mean,
I'd give my left Bob Ballard.
He looks like a person
for them to stop persecuting us.
I mean, why do they have to fire him for that?
That's stupid. That's stupid. It was not offensive.
It wasn't offensive at all. It was funny.
You know how women be.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what's going on in the Olympics. Apparently, we got some golds already in swimming. We're doing pretty good in swimming. What, Mark? I can't.
Every night you're gonna spoil it.
This is over the weekend. It's
over the weekend. I saw all that stuff.
Yeah. I'm not watching them live.
Just don't want to know what happened a couple hours ago. So
okay.
I don't know what happened on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We got some medals. I've seen some medals.
Yeah.
We're medaling.
Good. We're medaling.
I got some.
The women's rugby was fun to watch. I watched the Japanese match. Our ladies kicked the shit out of those Japanese ladies.
The Frenchmen won the gold and beat Fiji, who hadn't lost in like 10 years or something like that. That was crazy in rugby.
Damn.
All right, some quick hitters, guys. The two Boeing Starliner astronauts, Sunita Williams and Barry Butch Wilmore, are still stuck in space 53 days later with no sign of them returning on that ship, at least.
Yeah, man, this is Mark texted this over the weekend. Just cold at 1 a.m. to ruin your sleep. He said the Boeing astronauts are still stuck up there. It's back in the news, popping back in the news. They only have 30 days of supplies left. It was very upsetting to hear.
Yeah, an unnamed former NASA astronaut told the Atlantic media publication that, of course, NASA doesn't feel comfortable sending them home on the Boeing Starliner, and they're stranded. And now it's being reported that what we predicted a month ago might have to happen, and NASA and Boeing might need to call on the man that makes J.K. Rowling look like Mother Teresa, Elon Musk, and SpaceX to go rescue these two poor bastards.
Yeah, dude, that would be amazing.
Speaking of which, someone needs to dig into like what California gave Elon Musk's companies that they're like potentially taking back, or Texas can give him better, because that whole thing, after looking into it deeper, stinks to high heaven.
Well, I mean, Texas doesn't have state tax. Pretty good place to have business. They don't got no state tax here, like in Florida and a couple other places. You can save some money when you got a company here. They are inside the ISS, at least. They're not on the Starliner. They've been inside the ISS and 7 people live there. Now there's 9. It's described as the size of a 747 inside with the living quarters. But I have a feeling Butch and Sunita didn't pack a ton of undies for their short trip up there. So they're just stinking up the joint. Pretty ripe up there.
Yeah.
You think friction will clean them?
Yeah. I don't think so. Maybe, yeah, they're crying.
Friction will get them clean.
Now give me your stink. I'll give you mine. I used ChatGPT, of course, and they said there's no laundry machines up though, so they're just stinking up the joint. We're not going to end on this one, but we might as well mention it. 12 Israelis were killed in a bombing in Israel-occupied Golan Heights in southern Syria. 10 of the victims were children aged 10 to 16. Israel, and I believe maybe the U.S. and some other people are blaming Iranian-backed Hezbollah, the group who resides in Lebanon mainly. That's where their HQ is. Israel's neighbor, and Israel attacked Lebanon on Saturday and bombed them, and then Lebanon bombed Israel right back on Sunday, so they're probably in a full-blown war right now. On that side, too.
Don't search that on X. You'll find some very disturbing images.
My algorithm and feed couldn't get any worse of guys I don't follow spewing hateful shit.
It's bad. This is pretty bad. Not great. RIP to everyone over there.
And then, of course, the U.S. came out and was like,
on all sides.
And then the U.S. then we immediately confirmed to Israel that, yep, they did it. Yep, definitely them. So
Iran, Lebanon, and then it's like Israel's.
They said Hamas launched it, actually.
I heard Hezbollah.
Yeah, it was. They said Hamas via Hezbollah. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you guys remember when that fucking storage unit by the port of Beirut just fucking exploded?
That was awesome. Bad,
that was insane,
but an awesome video.
That was crazy. They were like,
it turns out it was a 17-year-old kid.
No, it was a missile, wasn't it?
It was poorly stored explosives.
Exactly. That's what they said officially, is it was like an old building that didn't secure
fertilizer, right?
Yeah. I think it was fertilizer.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Those videos were crazy. Okay, here's a palate cleanser. War sucks. Stop killing everybody. Barbie / Mattel just announced the planned release of the first ever blind Barbie and black Down syndrome Barbie. And let's check the internet comments to see the online.
Wait, is the blind Barbie on the right staring off?
No, blind. That's black Down syndrome Barbie.
They made her blind too.
No, the blind girl has like gray eyes. You can see, like,
yeah, but the one just staring off into the distance.
That might be on account of the Down syndrome.
Oh, she's looking at like a Slurpee machine.
Yeah. Let's see how the internet reacted. JM says blind kid's gonna love seeing this. And Peter Emmy says, what makes the rest of the dolls not blind?
Yeah, I don't see any difference.
Yeah.
The goggles, the glasses, and the wonky eyes.
They all have the dead stare.
And then this is my favorite. Mikey Moo 21 says, if she's blind, then why did they give her eyes? And then Samantha goes, most blind people have eyes, Mikey.
Most blind people.
Yeah.
And I'd say 99% of them.
Okay, listen. And then this guy, Real Shaq, goes, why do they got to be black dolls though for the Down syndrome?
Oh yeah.
And then Uncle Jonah says, we got Down syndrome Barbie before Grand Theft Auto 6.
I can't. I don't see the Down syndrome. I don't see the blindness.
No,
I mean they really pussed out on these things.
Yeah, you just have to read the box. You have to take the box's word for it.
Yeah.
Blind Barbie.
Right. No, I mean, I've been telling my blind daughter this is blind Barbie for years, but now I can actually give her an actual blind. I can stop lying to her.
Sweetie, stop making Down syndrome Barbie attack the cat. Like, that's what you'd want to do.
Oh, come on.
Those guys that do the Down syndrome cooking shows, highly entertaining on Instagram.
I love them.
Yeah, the Asian guys, they're fun. Down syndrome people, super nice folk. And lastly, let's end with San Diego Comic-Con, where our very own Hard Factor Al is nerding out this weekend. They dropped some big news for the MCU, which is the Marvel Universe. The next big bad for the next coming up 2 Avengers films will no longer be Kang after Jonathan Majors got dropped, and in hindsight that might have been a bit harsh, but the new big bad is Doctor Doom. right? Main enemy of the Fantastic Four. You're familiar with Doom?
A little bit.
He was it Mr. Fantastic's main rival? They were Reed, whatever his name is. They were like best friends and doctors together, and then Dr. Doom kind of loses it, right? He's also the main villain of the Avengers and others, and he is being played, and it's announced at Comic-Con, he's being played by none other than Robert Downey Jr., aka Iron Man. What the fuck?
No, does Iron Man make it? Does Iron Man become Doctor Doom in the MCU? In the comics?
There's every single thread possible in the multiverse, and there's one small comic
no rules
thread
anymore.
There's one small comic thread from the early 2000s where, yes, Pat, he literally became him, and then there's one small comic thread where Doctor Doom he just took over as Iron Man when Iron Man was like injured or sick. So there's some correlation. Plus, Iron Man and him fought a lot. And there's this multiverse crap. Who knows? Also, Dr. Doom wears a mask, and he might never like show his face. So it might be like a Thanos thing because what's his face played Thanos, and he also plays Cable now in Deadpool, and he's like on the X Force and who knows? But it was weird. It's gotten a reaction because he retired as Iron Man famously, and then now he's back as Dr. Doom.
Yeah, there's no rules.
They needed him back. They gave him the bag because the MCU was never bigger than with Iron Man.
I mean, the response was nuts.
Yeah.
But Downey Jr. did this when you part of it's like you take your mask off and then you do this. If you put your arms out, that means react bigly.
Well, that was how much money they gave him.
This much money.
Yeah. We need you back, Robert.
Marvel's back though, because Deadpool and Wolverine was fucking awesome.
Opened at 205 million, guys.
It was badass.
I saw for the weekend 500 million. If that includes maybe global and all the other stuff, but
Pretty sure it's the number one R movie opening ever.
It was domestic, really?
Yeah.
Damn girl. Yeah, it's
all
good. Right. Well, we're out of here. So, decades. See you tomorrow.
Decades forever.
Have a great fucking day.